Hey guys, happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. So, I am back with regular filming. I won't be posting pre recorded audios anymore. So, the skull spells are done. Some of you have already reported some movements. I'm extremely glad. Also, glamours are working beautifully. Also, extremely happy about that. But today I have a new topic for you, and this topic is inspired by a question one of my client had a few days ago. And we're going to be explaining karmic soulmates, all of that once again. But the question was that he asked, what is the point of a soulmate if, you can still break up with your soulmate and they don't stay forever with you necessarily? So, I'm going to be explaining what's the point in this audio, but I'm going to start by saying that personally, I do not like the term soulmate. And the reason why I don't like that term is because people associate the term soulmate with somebody who is perfect, who is your perfect match, and who is gonna stay with you forever and nothing can happen between the two of you, because that's your soulmate. And people also tend to think that our soulmates are just one. We only have one soulmate and that's it. If we mess it up, we will never find another soulmate because our soulmate is gone. So before I start explaining the differences between karmics and, as we call them, soulmates, I definitely want to say that I don't like the term soulmate, and I won't be using it in this audio. Instead, I'm going to be explaining to you what we call a soulmate really is, and what's their purpose, and what the difference is between them and karmics. I also will say that there is a big popularization of twin flames. I don't like that term either. I don't think it's a thing. So, what people call twin flames are basically karmics. Not everybody will experience a karmic necessarily, and it's not true that you only have one karmic. You can have one or you can have more. It's gonna depend on a lot of things and how soon you're gonna be growing and learning your lessons as well, if others will appear or not. So twin flames, all that it's around it, I find it very toxic because what they are saying basically is that this is your twin flame, this is your person, this is the only person for you, but it's a toxic connection, but you need to get them back. And then there is that talk about separation and reconnecting and everything. Don't believe that, please, guys. It's not how it works. So we only have karmics, and then we have what we call soulmates. I'm not going to call them soulmates because I don't think that's the right term. I'm going to call them faded relationships. So karmic and faded relationships. And we're going to be talking about how to tell the difference today. Okay? So, some relationships are not here to last, as you know. It does not mean that after, their purpose is completed and after you learned a lesson, you can't have these people back. You can. So I just want to say that. It doesn't matter if somebody was a karmic or if somebody was a faded relationship. It doesn't matter. You can get both of them back with magic. But obviously there are some things you need to get done vibrationally as well. We are not going to be talking about that today because we talk about that all the time. So we're just going to be talking about the differences. So some relationships are meant to shake us up, to transform us forever. You've probably noticed that, to make us embrace our shadow selves, to make us confront our shadows, because we try to avoid our shadows, ignore our shadows, and our shadows, they want to be seen. And also, some relationships will make us kind of remember who we do not want to be anymore. So, karmics are relationships I'm talking about. Karmic relationships are here to transform us. And you have probably noticed the ones of you who had a karmic that you're seeking for answers. You have turned to magic, you have turned to the tarot, you have turned to spirituality. That's a part of it because you are meant to transform and to realize the spirituality behind this world. So that is one of the purposes of a karmic, to make you become spiritual, which is really great for your soul's journey and very important. So karmics are very valuable. They are our teachers, like I always say. So you can recognize a karmic relationship by intensity. Intensity you cannot explain. It seems like you knew this person your whole life, but the stronger connection, the deeper the wound that opens up. So they are opening a wound, right? You have probably noticed that as well. So this karma in this connection is not a punishment. Like people will think it's a punishment. It's here to make me hurt, to make me lose somebody, and to make me devastated and desperate and needy. No. It's here to transform you, to make you stronger, to make you greater, to make you realize things, to make you change, to put you on the right path. Karmics are valuable. They're such a valuable lesson. Trust me, guys. So it can be unfinished story from your past lives. Of course, not everybody believes in that. We all have different beliefs. We all have different traditions. Totally fine. Or from your earlier experiences that you had in this lifetime. So it's basically something that will close the circle in a way, you know. So a karmic relationship usually will have some cycles. Okay? So acceptance, idealization, pain, separation, and we can actually have a comeback, a reunion. Often people think that karmics never come back. They're there to teach you a lesson and that's it. They disappear from your lives. That doesn't have to be the case at all. But if you're having this cycle of reunion where you keep breaking up and getting back together, that cycle is not going to end until you realize that you are not coming back because of love. You're coming back because you have not learned your lesson yet. So the point with karmics is to learn your lesson, to grow and to transform. And later, you can have them back if you want to or not. It depends. It doesn't really matter at that point. I mean, maybe it does, but it doesn't really matter for the story we have today. Okay. So let's see some signs that will show you are in a karmic connection. If you're feeling obsessed with a person, if you are feeling, reckless, in terms you don't feel peaceful, you feel anxious. If it's like contradicting, if you can't relax, even though it's not good to always be anxious and worried, but you can't. And here I'm not necessarily talking about people that are anxiously attached in general, that have anxiety in general. I'm talking if this is like the first time this has happened, if you're not prone to it, if this person has triggered this in you and usually it doesn't happen, it's not a pattern for you. Okay. If you have a really strong energetic connection, but the stability of the connection is very weak, if there are breakups all the time and then reunions all the time, so like cycles. Okay, so we already talked about karmics a lot and you can listen to other audios as well, because in this audio, I didn't really want to talk about karmics. I wanted to talk about soulmates, or how I'm going to call them, faded relationships, because I don't think soulmate is a good term. So, faded relationships are not without challenges. This is so important to mention because people have the idea that a soulmate or a faded relationship is somebody who is a perfect match, who will always agree on you with everything, where you will just have easy sailing. There is no such thing. There is no such thing. Nobody's perfect, and all relationships, they take a lot of effort and mutual understanding and work. Okay. But the thing is that it does bring peace, it does bring trust, it does bring growth, and you will be feeling like you're a team, even when it's not perfect. So, when you are in a karmic connection, you're kind of going to be chasing something. And when you are in a faded relationship, you're going to be coming to yourself in a way. So, you're not chasing, you are attracting. And yes, you can turn a karmic into a faded relationship. Absolutely, anything is possible. Okay, so karmics are teaching you to understand and to learn where have you lost yourself to keep somebody else. Remember, you should always focus on you. You should work on yourself, and it's very important to get to know you really well, yourself, your own needs, what you need, what are your emotional needs. They can be relationships where you are agreeing on less than you think you deserve, than you want. Like if you agree on a situationship, although you really want a relationship, but you're gonna go with a situationship because that's all you can get, and you're really obsessed with this person. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go with it. And where you are repeating your pattern and you're calling it love. Now, faded relationships are teaching you to recognize when somebody is here for the two of you to grow together, when a connection is healing and not destroying you, when there is a balance between giving and taking. This is something I always emphasize. Princess treatment is so toxic, guys. What a relationship is about and love is about is an equal give and take. Okay? So basically, the difference between these two relationships is very simple. Karmics are, there to make you conscious, to make you aware of things that you are not aware of at the moment. And faded relationships are here to just make sure you're ready. So when the universe is going to be testing whether you have, God, universe, whichever term you like to use, source, doesn't matter. But you will be tested to see whether you have learned your lesson. So it's very important to be aware of these things. And if you're going to be reacting in the same way, then clearly you haven't, and the lesson will repeat itself. And if you're going to learn to react differently, which is something we talk about this channel a lot, because we're trying to change the way we react to things, because it's so important. If you're going to be reacting differently, that is when that cycle will end. So whatever that cycle was, somebody coming back and leaving, then you can get them to come back all the time, and there's going to be no more leaving because you have learned that lesson and you're no longer reacting in the same way, if that makes sense. So guys, as you know, some relationships we're having to wake us up, to set us free, and that's why karmics are very, very important. And some people have them, some people don't, some have one, some have more. It really does depend on a lot of factors. There is no specific rule. No specific rule. But what is specific is they are here to shake you up, to wake you up, to set you free. They're teachers, and they are actually doing you a favor, sorry, even though it you will go through a painful experience, and it will be extremely painful, and it will hurt, and you will suffer, and you will be sad, and you will be desperate, and all of that. But in the end, it is for your greater good. Trust me. So, as you know, a lot of you guys that have been dealing with karmics, this is when you started researching spirituality. This is when you started to change things about you that needed to be changed for a long time. So, they are so important for us. They are so valuable. They are our teachers, as I always call them. So, um, I hope that this is helpful and you kind of see the difference now. But there is no such thing as a perfect connection, a soulmate. There is no such thing as a soulmate. Even though we call fated relationships soulmates, that's not what they truly are, because there is no such thing as somebody who will definitely, for sure, stay with you forever. Love is always unpredictable, and we cannot cage it, and we cannot control it and dominate it. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it. And that's the thing that makes us fear love as well. So, this is what I have for you. I um, I will say that the karmic relationships, they do leave marks, scars, whatever you want to call them, traumas. But through these marks, scars, and traumas, we are becoming aware. We are coming aware of our worth, and we are coming aware of a lot of things, not just about us, but also about how things function, about the whole big picture, the spiritual picture, all of it. So it's extremely important to, if you had a karmic, to use all of this opportunity around it to learn and to grow and to expand. So guys, be thankful for every person that has ever hurt you, because this person has taught you a lot of things, or should have taught you a lot of things. Every connection that didn't work out is there to show you how much you have grown. So that is the lesson of the day. And I hope you are having a lovely day. I hope you're feeling peaceful. This full moon in Taurus is like very peaceful. It brings peace, and it's such a lovely energy. I hope you guys are feeling it. I love you. Bye.